Imagine being a highly skilled professional, working tirelessly behind the scenes, but being completely overlooked and underappreciated. This is exactly what happened to a remarkable woman named Rachel, who spent years dedicating herself to her community as a civil servant. You might know someone like Rachel, the kind of person who always puts others first, but never expects anything in return. Rachel's story begins with her exceptional work helping countless individuals in her community, from resolving complex bureaucratic issues to providing emotional support during times of crisis. She was the go-to person for anyone in need, always ready to lend a listening ear or a helping hand. But despite her dedication, Rachel was consistently overlooked for promotions and recognition. It seemed like no matter how hard she worked, she was never going to get the recognition she deserved. As the years went by, Rachel began to feel like she was invisible. She started to wonder if her efforts were even making a difference. Was she just a cog in a giant machine? Or was she truly making a positive impact on people's lives? These doubts crept into her mind, making her question her purpose and her value as a professional. But Rachel didn't give up. She continued to work tirelessly, always striving to improve her skills and make a difference in her community. But little did Rachel know, her life was about to take a dramatic turn. One day, she received a shocking phone call from the president's office, requesting her presence at the White House. Can you imagine receiving a call from the president's office? It's a moment that most people can only dream of. And yet, for Rachel, it was a complete shock. She had never expected to be noticed by someone as high up as the president, let alone be invited to the White House. As Rachel sat in stunned silence, trying to process the news, a million questions swirled in her mind. What could the president possibly want with her? Was she in trouble? Or was this some kind of honor? The uncertainty was almost suffocating. She felt like she was living in a dream, and she wasn't sure if she was ready to wake up. The mystery surrounding Rachel's invitation and the president's intentions will leave you wondering. What could the president possibly want with this seemingly ordinary woman? Is she being recognized for her exceptional work? Or is there something more sinister at play? As you watch Rachel's story unfold, you'll be on the edge of your seat, eager to find out what happens next. As Rachel prepares to head to the White House, she can't help but feel a mix of emotions. Excitement, nervousness, and a hint of fear all swirl together in her stomach. What will she find when she gets there? Will it be a surprise party or a stern lecture? The not knowing is almost too much to bear. You might be thinking, what's the big deal about the White House? It's just a building. But for Rachel, the White House represents a whole new level of responsibility, a chance to make a real difference in the country, and a validation of her hard work. You'll have to wait until next time to find out what happens when Rachel steps into the White House and meets the president. Will she be the unsung hero she's always been, or will she finally get the recognition she deserves? As the anticipation builds, you can't help but wonder, what secrets will Rachel uncover when she meets the president? Will she find out that her work has been noticed, or that something more sinister is afoot? The truth is, you'll have to keep watching to find out. But one thing's for sure, Rachel's life will never be the same again. In the next part of Rachel's story, you'll see how her life changes in ways she never could have imagined. You'll meet new characters, uncover new secrets, and witness the dramatic turn of events that will leave you breathless. But for now, let's take a step back and reflect on what we've learned so far. Rachel's story is one of perseverance, determination, and the power of hard work. She's a reminder that even the smallest actions can make a big impact, and that sometimes the most unlikely people can achieve greatness. As you continue to watch Rachel's story, remember that you're not just watching a story, you're becoming a part of it. You're joining Rachel on her journey, experiencing her struggles and triumphs, and cheering her on as she faces the unknown. So, get ready for the next chapter in Rachel's story, and find out what happens when she meets the president. The suspense is killing us. You're now on the cusp of a story that's about to change forever. Remember Rachel, the unsung hero we met in the previous section? Well, her life is about to take a dramatic turn. You see, Rachel's work didn't go unnoticed for long. In fact, it caught the attention of the most powerful person in the country, the president. Imagine receiving an invitation to the White House and not knowing why you're being summoned. That's exactly what happened to Rachel. She was both surprised and curious as she made her way to the White House, wondering what this mysterious invitation was all about. As she stepped into the Grand Hall, Rachel was greeted by the president himself. He was warm, charismatic, and genuinely interested in meeting her. They sat down in the Oval Office, surrounded by the trappings of power, and the president asked Rachel to share her story. At first, Rachel was hesitant, unsure of what to expect. But as she began to speak, she felt a sense of liberation, like a weight had been lifted off her shoulders. The president listened intently, his eyes locked onto Rachel's, as she shared tales of her dedication, her passion, and her commitment to serving others. He was moved by her story, and as he listened, a look of recognition dawned on his face. It turned out that Rachel's work had a direct connection to the First Family, and the president was eager to learn more. As Rachel spoke, she began to realize the significance of her work, the impact it had on people's lives, and the ripple effect it created in her community. She felt a sense of pride and accomplishment, knowing that her efforts hadn't gone unnoticed. But what she didn't know was that the president's gesture was just the beginning of a chain reaction that would transform her life in ways she never thought possible. You see, the president's recognition of Rachel's work didn't just stop at a simple acknowledgement. It sparked a movement, a wave of appreciation that spread far beyond the walls of the White House. People began to take notice of Rachel's contributions, and soon, her name became synonymous with dedication, service, and excellence. But here's the thing, Rachel's story is far from over. In fact, it's just getting started. As we delve deeper into her journey, you'll discover the surprising twists and turns that await her. You'll meet new characters, hear new stories, and experience the highs and lows that come with achieving greatness. And through it all, you'll be inspired by Rachel's unwavering commitment to making a difference in the world. So, let's dive back into Rachel's story and explore the unexpected turn her life is about to take. What secrets will be revealed? What challenges will she face? And how will she rise above them? Stay tuned to find out. As you imagine Rachel standing in the White House, hearing the president mention her name, you're left wondering what this moment means for her future. What will she do with this newfound recognition, and how will she use it to make a lasting impact? Rachel's rise to fame is meteoric. She becomes a celebrated hero, advocating for social justice and supporting marginalized communities. She uses her platform to amplify the voices of those who have been silenced, and her message resonates with people from all walks of life. But Rachel's influence extends far beyond the headlines. She inspires a new generation of individuals to pursue careers in public service, demonstrating that anyone can make a difference. She shows them that it's not about being a politician or a celebrity, but about being a force for good in the world. As Rachel's story spreads, she becomes a symbol of hope for those who feel powerless. She proves that even in the darkest of times, one person can make a difference. And as she looks out at the sea of faces gathered to hear her speak, she knows that she's not just fighting for herself, she's fighting for a brighter future for everyone. But what does it mean to be a hero like Rachel? Is it about being recognized by the president, or is it about the impact you have on the world? Share your own story of overcoming adversity, and let's talk about what it means to be a force for good in the world. What would you do if you received a call from the president, and how would you use that moment to make a difference?